disheartening thing that guys do when you can tell that they don't find you.
First of all, go watch your video. It truly reminded me. I went out with two guys that I was friends with. They introduced me to their third friend. This man proceeded to talk over me anytime someone talked to me. Like, the other two guys would just ask me a question, and the guy would talk over my response. After 2 times of trying to keep the peace, I was sick of it. So I asked him, "What the heck's up, man?" And he just openly says, "I'm not interested in you. I don't find you attractive. I'm not trying to sleep with you. I don't need to be nice to you." So he was putting in more effort to be rude to me than he was to just be civil. Neither of the guys said anything. They just kind of laughed it off. And I realized men don't care. That's why I realized it's so prominent. Like, none of them are going to check each other. At all. So I've seen some comments like this and asking if I'm still friends with them, and I'll just clear that up for you. So this all happened at a bar. I had gone there with them because I left my car at their place since I was going to be drinking. This guy showed up way later than us. He said that, and then immediately, when they said nothing, I was like, I need to leave. But I didn't have my car, and I'd already been drinking. So I proceeded to be like, well, revenge. So anytime this man talked, I would talk over him. If he was trying to hit on a girl, I would tell them how awful he is. I went out of my way to make sure he knew I hated him. My friends finally felt so awkward, they took me back to their place. And then as I was leaving, I was like, hey, I hate your friend. They acknowledged he was awful, and then said, but we have been friends for so long. So I said, then we're not going to be friends for so long, and left. On my last video, I didn't expect it to get this much attention. 3 things. Some people are saying that's not your real friends. Correct. Second of all, some people equated them to boys. I didn't say this specifically, but they're 24 and 25 at this point. They are full-grown adults. They're not boys. And 3, this comment had it completely correct. They genuinely, after 4 years of friendship with me, cared more about what this man said and him as a person. They cared about his opinion of them compared to how truly rude and just the fact that that's how he treated me after meeting me the first time. He's done worse. And especially after hearing more about the guy after, he's done worse. They cared more about his opinion of them than what he's actually doing, which I think is the most worrisome part.
Have you ever heard of the game Pull a Pig? I have, and I've been the pig a few times. Pull the Pig is when a attractive guy chooses by himself or is egged on by his friends to convince a pig that she's attractive, to convince the pig that somebody could actually like her, to convince the pig to agree to meet him out. And then the pig gets ghosted. And sometimes the pig is answered by texts of, hey, where are you? To the pig emoji, and that's how they find out that they've been pigged. Sometimes they don't even get the pig emoji, and the pig just has to find out through the grapevine that they weren't actually interested in them, that it was just a game to see who could pull the most unattractive girl and make her feel really bad about herself.
I love that people are talking about this because it's something that my hot friends in high school did not get, and they still don't get it now. Whenever I tell them, that guy's a huge douchebag, and they're like, no, oh my gosh, he's one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. To you, because you're hot. We should be judging these guys off of the way they treat people they're not attracted to instead of just solely on the way they treat you. It's going to save you from finding out that they're a douchebag 6 months down the line. They can't even fake it for that long. Let's say 2 months.
So I was in this friend group in college, and there was this one particular member of this friend group, and he literally would not look me in the eye. When I would speak, he would pretend I wasn't there. There were times when I would reply to a question that he would ask, and he would completely disregard that I was speaking and then re-ask the question again, like nobody answered when I was sitting right there. He would just completely ignored me, and I could never figure out why. There was also this one time I was looking for something, like I was at his house with his roommates, and I was looking for something, and I asked him, hey, so-and-so, where is, I think I was looking for like paper towel or something. And he looked at me, but like didn't look me in the eye, just looked at my form and walked away. Like,
oh, do I have a story for you lots? Okay, so this wasn't a guy that I was flirting with or trying to get involved with romantically. We were just friends, but we were very, very good friends. He was a brother if I ever did have one from another mother. And I was super comfortable, relaxed, felt safe around him. And one day I found out he'd done something super despicable to somebody that was very close to me, and I had no idea, and I was super shocked. We got into a massive argument, not acting like a victim here, by the way. I said some things to him as well. And then I said something to him along the lines of, "You're not a man," because of how angry I was and because he deserved it. And then he paused for a second. This was a text conversation. And then he hit me back with, "You're barely even fit to be a human being. You're lucky if you ever find a man like me." Now, what hurt me wasn't the words, because I've been bullied for the way that I look for the past 10 years. You grow thick skin eventually. But it was the fact that it came from him, because he knew what caused the scarring. He knew how traumatic it was to me. And I was like in complete shock that it came from him. And the funny thing is, I ended up forgiving him for that. But I blocked him for some time.
I'm gonna preface this by saying I don't think I'm ugly. I just have ethnic features that are not trendy in the West. My first year university, I shared a building with some of these very stereotypical dude bro frat boys, and I became friends with this girl who liked to hang around these dudes who weren't very nice to her. As I said before, my face isn't really up to code when it comes to Western beauty standards, and also, like, I'm fat, so very undateable to these dudes. And some of them made it very apparent that I was lucky to be in the same space as them because I'm just so ugly and so disgusting. And I do specifically remember that if someone did show an interest in me, it was a joke. It wasn't really disheartening, it was more so enlightening because to me, these men are telling me that human decency is only afforded to those they find attractive. And also, if this happens to you, you tell them about themselves and hurt their feelings.
Okay, so I'm going to speak for myself. Personally, if you've been on my page, you know that I do makeup all the time. One of the reasons why I started doing makeup was because of this feeling, but let me elaborate. I have very, very, very beautiful friends, and when I am approached by males, any type of male, and I'm in a group setting with my very beautiful friends, it tends to be that she's attractive, she's beautiful, she nice, she's sexy, all of this, and they turn to me and you're intimidating, or you're aggressive, and if it's not that, then it's my boobs, and then the conversation is over. So that.
so I don't consider myself conventionally unattractive, other than the fact that I'm fat, right? But this is what I typically look like. Okay? I'm a babe, right? And I've never had a problem getting literally anybody I've ever wanted. Male, female, transgender, it doesn't matter. I've been with everybody I've ever wanted. Okay, so I'm at work one night, and my boss, short, dad bod, balding, white guy, younger than me, very thick Georgia accent, not an attractive man, right? Bragging about how his wife gave him a hall pass. So everyone at work is like, "Hey, you should get with Sam." This motherfucker gonna say, "Ugh, the fuck? Bro, you'd be lucky to get with me. Are you kidding?"
I got a lot low key. So pretty much my whole life, everyone's always told me I sounded like a man, so there's that. I never really got complimented on my face, and I grew up not having like a titties or a butt, so people would just be like, "I kind of like your personality." I've never been taken to a school dance or anything like that. Never been to no dance, nothing like that. I was very much the friend growing up where people would come up to me and ask me for like my friend's number. The only compliment I ever got about my face was that I had DSL. Every time I had a boyfriend or a girlfriend, I've never been posted in any of my relationships. Actually, really, for that matter, I've never went to any public places in my relationships. I've never really been on any real dates. The only celebrity I get compared to is like Miss Natural, and if you know who that is.
Okay, so this one time, me and 4 of my girlfriends went to the beach, and we met this group of maybe 10 to 15 guys, and all my friends hooked up with someone there, and at one point they were all hooking up with someone, and so I was just left with maybe 8 of the guys, and they all just created a circle and moved away from me and just did not say anything to me, and so I was just standing by the side of one of the guys' pickup trucks, like, hoping my friends came back or that the sand just like opened up and just swallowed me whole.
In high school, I got asked out as a joke, and this male teacher that was our substitute teacher said I looked like a guy. I just had hair and a headband, and that annoyed the shit out of me. I never dated in high school. When I was 24, I got my first boyfriend, and people really didn't notice me till I put makeup on and I lost weight. And I was treated different. I noticed the pretty girls got treated better than I did. The only person that thought I looked nice was my late husband, even when I didn't have makeup and I gained a lot of weight.